Guy Director James Comey getting grilled on Capitol Hill. We'll check in with that in a couple of minutes. Shoshana Walsh joins us, ABC News Deputy Political Director. She's covering the story. Donald Trump met with his own party yesterday and got a little bit of blowback. What's the story?
You're right. So he had two meetings with House members of Congress and then Republicans, of course, and then Senate Republicans. And it's in that meeting with Senate Republicans that things got pretty tense. Our reporting shows that the most tense confrontation was with Arizona Senator Jeff Flake. Jeff Flake introduced himself to Donald Trump. Of course, I should know that Flake has never endorsed Trump up to now. And Trump has said, "Oh, you've been quite critical of me." And that's when Jeff Flake said, yes, I'm the other senator from Arizona, the one that wasn't captured, of course, referring to John McCain and those controversial comments that Trump made about McCain right at the beginning of this campaign. The two went back and forth. And at the end of their conversation, Trump said to Jeff Flake that he didn't think that the Arizona senator would be reelected. Well, Jeff Flake informed Trump he's not up for reelection. So a really tense moment with members of his own party.
Also, Mark Kirk from Illinois, who is up for re-election, has endorsed him and then unendorsed him. Did he call him a loser?
So it's interesting that Mark Kirk is very much trying to run away from Donald Trump. You already mentioned the endorsing and the unendorsing, but he is even running an ad that isn't exactly blasting Donald Trump, but clearly trying to separate himself. Mark Kirk is probably the most vulnerable senator running for re-election now. There's a few of them, but I would put him at the top of the list. So he's doing everything in his power to separate himself from the standard bearer of his party right now in order to win a re-election in a really tough state, Illinois.
And Donald Trump's going to need every Republican senator if he ever does get into office, because it's all hands on deck. Overall, after the meeting, what was the feeling? What was the consensus from Republicans as they left the meeting with Donald Trump? Or was there one?
Yeah, well, we were outside both meetings. The first meeting with the House GOP leaders, members, I should say, House Speaker Paul Ryan said it was a good meeting. It went well. But many of the other members said they weren't impressed with what Donald Trump had to say, inferring that it was a lot of what they had heard before. But the Senate Republican meeting was much more tense. And it seems like everyone we spoke to, that if you were a supporter of Donald Trump in the morning when you woke up, you left those meetings, you were still a supporter. But if you have questions around your party's nominee, you left with those questions.
Shoshana Walsh covering the Donald Trump meeting with his own party leaders in the House and the Senate yesterday. Who thought that would be a story? ABC News Deputy Political Director Shoshana Walsh. Thanks for checking in. You got it.
Anytime. Bye.
You got it. 6:55, Big 550.